JavaScript developers expect Elm to have a declarative routing solution, and it doesn't. This can present itself as a blocker early in the learning process with Elm and could discourage further exploration. In this video, I will extend an existing application of mine, the Mina Block Explorer, by adding a new page, providing you a template for app routing. Today I am extending the Mina Blockchain Explorer. It's a simple 2-page or 3-page app right now. The third page is underdeveloped. First one is just welcome to the Mina Blockchain Explorer. Second tab is when we click the blocks, we see the current, this is a dynamic request to the Mina Block Indexer API. And then when we click the state hash, we go to our third page, which is like details on the particular block by state hash. So we haven't implemented this page. That's what I'm going to do today. I'd like to show you around the application for now, just to show you how I have it set up. A lot of it is boilerplate code from this navigation page. This is a pretty decent way to get going. You can just kind of copy this and paste it. But essentially, it handles the changes to the browser's external and internal URLs are handled through the model, as well as URL change events. So these are directly supported in Elm's model. So you basically all state changes to the URL go through the model. So we're copying this code and we're going to extend it. How did I extend it? Well, in addition to the model here, just to get going, I've basically extended the model to include what the current route is. I guess this would be current route. Let's do that actually. Let's rename this. Current route. Did that work? Route. How do I rename that symbol? Refactor. Refactor. Current route. Well, we'll just search through the code base and we'll find route. Here we go. Current route. Any other? Route. Current route. Okay, let's look at the compiler, see what it's telling us. 101. Line 101, what's going on here? That's been refactored, great. 138. Current route. Great. Okay, so we've successfully refactored that. Let's commit it. Then I'll get going with the summary. Refactor route to current route in Elm main.elm file. Okay. So we've got our model that's defined, which has been extended from basically the boilerplate that we see in the documentation to tell us what the current route is. Route is, when we go to this definition, it's basically 3 constructors: home, blocks, and block spotlight. Block spotlight takes a string that's going to represent the state hash. That's how we and we map to, oh, computer's listening to me, string. And basically when we're parsing the particular route, this tells us that basically blocks, yeah, state hash, that's exactly it. But the state hash would be like this thing right here. So this means that the string gets parsed out and passed to this constructor, and whichever one of these matches first, basically, whichever one of these parsers succeeds, then that's the route that we're on. So this again is following the URL parsing guide here on how to parse routes. This is again like the standard, and they do a better job of explaining how that works. So I've combined those two, but what is lacking in Elm is like a coherent example where they actually show you both of these concept combines and then rendering based on the particular route that you're on. So that's what I've got accomplished in my application. The way we do that is through the view. We pass in the model, and then based on the current route, we render the view. So this is a function that helps us do that. And all we're doing is delegating based on the current route to the page's view. And pass, any parameters that are needed. For example, this one takes in the blocks view takes in the model for the blocks page. Okay, let's go back up to the top. So then we store the model for the blocks page also in the main.elm file. And what are some other features here? When we initialize the application, depending on the route that we're on that we have parsed, we have to take some actions. So if we happen to land on for example, if I just reload the page on the blocks page, this request comes from having parsed the route and then issued a get blocks command. So we can go to the blocks page to see that, but that's not really in scope for this. And right. Okay. Now the message we are, so I guess to integrate with the app model from changes that are made in the blocks model page, we're simply interfacing. We're basically delegating to the block update, the blocks update method. We're passing in the particular message that we got either from like app startup or like navigation changes. So this would be like get blocks, and then we're taking the output and we're being sure to update the blocks page model. So that's how we're integrating with each page. So given that sort of paradigm, I think that we're going to extend it now to handle loading details of this particular block for the block. We're going to call it the block spotlight page. Okay, so let's get going with that. Okay. Let's take a look at the blocks page. I'm going to sort of copy this example a little bit. So we're going to steal this API request because we're actually going to use it. Actually, let's define the message type first. Okay. Okay, so get block is going to give us a result of type block, and then we're going to have a got block. Oh, so that would be got block, yeah. And then we're going to have get block. So that'll be our message type. The block model we'll just steal from this page as well. We'll extend it to include some more details, but for now, let's just do this. And block, okay, great. compile, I wonder? Does not. Oh. HTTP error. You'd import this. Okay, compiles, great. Let's go back to the block page, steal a little bit more. Yeah, how do we want to define the model? We do want some sort of error handling. So let's also steal this pattern. Oops. Jumped. We steal this pattern of having an error message and like basically data and error handling. So let's define the model like that over here. We need to define the model first. Yeah. So let's put that at the top. This is going to be a maybe a block. If it's not there, then we'll be loading, essentially. And great, when we initialize it, there's no error and there's no block. Does this compile? Great. Let's go to the blocks page again, see what else we're going to steal. Yeah, same general update paradigm as well. We're going to be message model, and then we're outputting the model and a command. So we're going to get, if we've got the block, we're going to take the result and parse it. If it's okay, we're going to store the block as just a block or nothing. And yeah. And if we get, if the message is get block, then we want to reset it to nothing so that we are so that we're loading again. And what's this get blocks? Oh, that's a function. So this is where I actually define the crux of the get block function. So let's do that. Get block. Get block. Get blocks. Okay, so this one produces a command. Yep, we're going to steal this block decoder. This is not very reusable. I'm not reusing code right now. Well, if that becomes obvious, if that becomes like an obvious thing to do, we can do that later. But for now, I'm just trying to get it working. And plus, we're going to be extending the block decoder to decode more information. So, let's duplicate the code for now. I need to bring in this encoding and decoding stuff to be able to decode a block. Let's put that at the top of our file right here. Something broke. Oh, get block. It's not defined yet. So we want to get a block. We want to use the blocks decoder. We've got a block decoder. Our block decoder is going to be a little bit different because it will be... Actually, no, we're still making the same essential request, so it's going to be an array. So we're going to, instead of well, we're going to decode the list, but we're only going to take the first one. So that's fine. Yeah. So we're going to still call it the blocks decoder because like it is going to be an array, but we're only going to be taking the first element. So, okay, Much the same. We're going to extend this later. Oops. Okay. I need to parameterize this a little bit. How do I do that? So first of all, I want 1, and then secondly, I want okay, so we're going to take in a state hash. So get blocks takes in a string, outputs a command message. So we're going to take the state hash and we're basically going to state. Yeah. Yep, that's exactly what I want. Good. Okay. Get block. And we need our error to string handling from over here. So okay, so this is for handling error messages and for storing, helping us store them as a string message in our storing them as a string message in the model, basically in the main elm.model. Okay. Blocks decoder. Okay. Got blocks. Okay, that's not the message for this particular. Let's get block. We've got the block. Well, get blocks. Yeah, we need to do a little bit more. We need to sort of like map this. So how do I map? Yeah, so this is where we ask. This is sort of syntax that I'm not familiar with. How do we map? How to map get block result. So it's going to be like okay or error. So there's some sort of map that we need to do on that. I'm just unfamiliar with the syntax. How to map get block result. It's like, I don't know how to phrase it, but like list head basically. We just need the first one. Oh, we do it in the update. Okay. That makes sense. List head blocks. Yeah. That makes sense. So we handle it in the update. So we're still just going to call it get blocks because that's technically what we're doing. So let's call it got blocks. I mean, what we could do is say that we got the blocks and to get the blocks and we got the blocks, and then we could also have another for like got block or no, that would require issuing another command, and that's totally a valid way of doing it, but running it like getting a list of results and then issuing a command to basically issuing a command to like send the first parameter of that array, the first result back through the store. We don't need to do that though. So let's just say get blocks, got blocks. Get blocks. Got block 39. Get blocks, got blocks. Oh yeah, the result. Yeah, so list head of blocks, just block or nothing. Just block line 36, just block. Okay, blocks. Blocks decoder is a value of decoder list blocks, but expect JSON needs this to be a... Why does it need to be that? Oh, probably because got blocks is no. Why is it expecting that to be a list of... I don't understand. How is this a lit? Second argument to expect JSON is not what I expect. Expect... First of all, maybe I'm not even seeing the right error. Okay. So something is off with the second branch of this case. Get blocks. Yeah, so I need the state hash. How do I get that? It's gotta come from the message, most likely. The message is defined as blocks string .43 get blocks state hash state hash. Okay. One step towards the solution. And then compile. Okay, something's off the second branch of this case expression. Blocks and error, but the type annotation on update says it should be model. Oh, typo, blocks instead of block. It's a great compiler message, by the way. So let's just say 41. So I gotta go update my, okay. 41, it says block, yeah. Let's try again. Blocks is a value block, but it expects it to be a, yeah, 35. Yeah, why is it expecting? Because I said so. Good. Okay, one more error. List type needs one argument. I see 0. Oh, it's a syntax issue. So line 13. I think you just do like this. Let's try that again. Okay, so now I just have this string issue. How do I fix that? How to fix this? You need to ensure the state hash is properly escaped and concatenated as a string before passing it to encode string. Okay, so it's a syntax thing. I don't need to be an expert on this, so I'm just going to copy and paste it. Great. Does that work? The question, yep, it compiles. So it works. Break, start. Okay, good. So let's see where we're at. So we've got a model which defines a block. We've got a get blocks and get blocks, got blocks and get blocks type message. We have a model that we're going to store this page information on, block and error. We have an update function defined for how we handle the result and how we go ahead and get the blocks. Get blocks, block decoder, and the view. Okay, so now we need to actually, it's compiled, so I'm going to commit it. So I think we've got basically all the pieces that we need. What do we say here? Get basic functions for block spotlight setup. I could test these and everything too. honestly, it is quite straightforward. So there's nothing really super test-worthy here. JavaScript, you'd have to test the heck out of this. All right, so what are we going to do now? We are going to we are going to pass in the model now. Which model is that? That's the model for this page. So from the main page, we're going to feed in. Well, first we have to integrate it, but we're going to feed in this model. Great. And let's see. Let's just get this working. Model. Actually, yeah. This is already going to complain because in the main.elm file we have we're feeding it this state hash. So can I just do this? Do we want the model? Yeah, I do. Okay, so let's integrate. Let's go up here and to the top, and we're going to integrate a block spotlight page. And we're going to use the block spotlight. Good. Model. Okay, that's integrated. Should we happen to be in the block spotlight page, we want to, yeah, that's right. We want to invoke the get blocks. We want to make sure that we're issuing the get blocks command with the particular state hash. Command. Okay. No, we don't want that. We want command.map blocks page message. Okay. And over here, we're going to map this to command.map block spotlight page message. We're going to have to define that. So let's go over to where we define our message type and add this new type in there. Yep. We have to make sure that we're exporting message type from our block spotlight page. Probably other things, but for now we'll start with that. Okay, so we've integrated our block spotlight page. We are handling we're handling like when we load the page, we parse the route to figure out which page we're on, and then we issue, if we're happy to be on the spotlight page, we want to make sure that we issue the command to load to get the blocks, which really means we're just getting one block, but okay. Parsers are already set up. We've extended the message. What else do we need to do? When the URL changes, we need to do the same kind of logic here as we have up here. Which is to given the route that we're on, we want to make sure that when the URL changes, we issue the next command, whether it's for the blocks page or for the block spotlight page. And then it's sufficient to just issue the command. Okay, and then we need to integrate, at least this is how I did it with the blocks page. We need to do similar kind of integration for the block spotlight page. Block spotlight page message. Block message. So essentially, page. Now, the update method, what does it take over here? It takes in the message and the model. Okay. And then we figure out. Okay. We figure out what to do with it in the update. So that's what we're doing right here. We're taking in the spotlight message. Passing in the block spotlight page. And we're letting the spotlight page handle the details of the model update. And then we are just integrating it back here at the top level of the application. Block. I'm just going to say command. This is a command. So we need to map this command to the message type up here. So that's going to be the block spotlight. Message type. Do we need to do anything else? What does the view take now? It takes in the model. So that won't do. Model, block spotlight page, that's right. All right, let's take a look at all the compilation errors, which are probably many. Cannot find a, I need to export model. And how did I do it over here? Did I export just the model? Okay. Okay, let's run the compiler again. Okay. Just a few errors. "103 cannot find get blocks." Oh. Get blocks. Okay. How do you like me now? Okay, 119. Cannot find the update. Did we use the others init model? Yeah, we're gonna have to do that over here too. Page, block, spotlight, page, init model, which means we'll have to export that. Good, 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 good. Okay, had a syntax error, or I just misspelled something. Something is off with the body of the init definition, 54. Body is a tuple of type. Oh. I know what I did. Put in a comma. Whoops. Oh, it compiled. Oh, now I'm very curious. So what does the view say? Okay. All right, I don't want to write all this HTML, so let's update the view to print a transposed HTML table. And it will figure out. It'll figure out the rest. So in the case it's nothing, it's loading. Let's see what we've got. Okay. In the case that there's nothing, we're loading the block data. If we do have a block, we're printing a table. Okay, with the default, because username is nullable. Okay. Is that it? Okay, we need to import some stuff. We need to import some HTTP attributes. I don't think we need href. That's fine. And we need to import some HTML stuff. Specifically, probably all those actually. Table row, table data, table head. Not the link. I think we need the link. Compiled, look at that. I mean, it's working. That would be something. So we click a block, and then we click state hash. It's loading. Oh. Well, that's interesting. Our error message didn't work. State hash. Unknown argument. Okay. So let's take a look here. State hash. Query. This should be a query. Boom. Wow. Great. So far it's just displaying the same information. Let's go over to the API and see if we can extend it with something. Well, first of all, let's commit this because it's, oops. Great. That's one thing I really like about Elm. As soon as it compiles, it works. It's just, man, that's powerful. All right. Get a basic block spotlight page working. Good. Something's wrong with my IDE. It thinks it's broken, so I'm not sure why. Anyway. Okay, so that's not working. So I will actually take you over to minussearch.com. So this is a site that I developed in Rust using Leptos for anybody who's interested in. But I actually just want to take a look at a block because I'm just going to steal fetch command. What else do we want to display? So let's just add a few things like block station, snark fees. Let's add the slot and the epoch. Yeah, those are easy. Let's add the slot and the epoch. Just so that we can say, you know, we've got a bit of a spotlight page, some interesting information. So that would be, you know what? I don't have to be an expert in decoding. Here is the response. Here's the response from the, now let's copy the whole curl. Here's the curl for a more complex query for the spotlight page. Nope. Here is the response. Extend the spotlight page by adding epoch and slot. Yeah. Okay, let's just see how it comes up, what it comes up with. Now where is the epoch? Let's go to preview. Protocol state. Okay, so that's in the consensus, protocol state, consensus state. Yeah, so let's update the block. We'll update the block decoder. Makes sense. Okay, that's cool. It's field. You just sort of like nest them like that. That's interesting. Okay. So that's how you do that. And we're going to add some more details to the view. Very neat. Slot and epoch. Okay. Okay, I think we have a parsing error. That would be nice actually to print that error. Okay. Just write this ourselves, I suppose. Case. That's it. That's funny. So model.error of, so yeah, so we're looking for this error. Just want to show a little bit of error text. Great. I'm a little bit confused about actually how each one of these closed. Like, is that, do I need that, or should that be nested inside? I'm a little bit confused about how that works. Okay, interesting. Okay, all right. Okay, yeah. Oh, so we need to augment our query. That's fine, I could do that. Protocol state. Consensus state. Slot epoch. Boom. So now we have the slot and epoch in there as well. So, all right. Nice. Cool. Well, a success. So this has been a live Elm coding session showing you basically how I set up my routing and how to extend it so you can see how you can write some Elm code. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And I had fun. Elm's a great language. Really, really powerful. And so I hope you saw some of that today as I was coding. Be sure to click the link in the description to subscribe to my mailing list. Subscribers will get timely notifications of my videos as well as access to my personal email. Thanks again for watching.